Good morning, everyone. The first lesson in Unit 3 is looking at the 4 basic rules of exponents. So I'm just going to walk you through a little explanation of them, looking at the first example in each of the categories for the assignment in this lesson, okay? So the first rule that you're introduced to is called the product rule, and that is a rule when you're multiplying numbers with exponents. Okay, so as long as the base is the same, if I'm multiplying, so this is the first question. If I'm multiplying, I'm going to keep the base the same, so I'm not actually going to be multiplying 4 times 4. I'm going to keep the base the same, and I'm going to add the exponents. So 8 plus 3 is equal to 11. Okay, and you can leave your final answer like that rather than writing out your number, but you should be aware that 4 to the power of 11 is not equal to 4 times 11. It's equal to 4 multiplied by itself 11 different times. So if I was to write that number out, it would be something like 4 million and some odd numbers, okay? So the second rule you're introduced to is called the quotient rule, and this is when you are dividing numbers that have exponents. So again, the rule is similar to the product rule in that the bases have to be the same. So here's the first question on your assignment. Okay, so you keep the base the same. As long as the bases are the same, when I'm dividing exponents, I'll keep the base the same, and I'm going to subtract the exponents this time. Okay, so when I'm multiplying, I'm adding the exponents. When I'm dividing, I'm subtracting the exponents. So 5 minus negative 9. Make sure you keep track of your exponents. So 5 minus negative 9 is the same thing as saying 5 plus 9. So my answer here will be 14 to the power of 14. The third rule you're introduced to is the power rule. So here's where you have an exponent of an exponent. And a number might be written like this just to save space, because it's a lot easier to write a number like this rather than writing all the digits out. So 2 to the power of 10 to the power of 7. If I have a number like this, I solve it by multiplying the exponents. So my base will stay the same, and I'm going to multiply 10 times 7. So this answer would be 2 to the power of 70. And the third rule that you're introduced to in this lesson is called the zero rule, which means that any number with an exponent of 0, it doesn't matter what the number is always going to be equal to 1. Okay, so those are the 4 basic rules that you're introduced to. You have a few simple questions where you're doing examples using each of these different rules. That's what you need to keep in mind when you are completing this assignment.